everybody, Jeff Schneider here, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how to play a major third on a minor chord, but we're also going to dig into one of my newest loop of the days, so stay tuned. But before we get started, I gotta do a little story time.
Story time is here. I love jazz.
A few months ago, I did the cardinal sin of having some water on my desk, and I turned and I hit the glass, and a little bit of water went on my audio interface. Thankfully, the fine folks at Universal Audio sent me a new audio interface, the Apollo Twin Mark II. If I took my glasses off, suddenly it's blurry, right? And this is what it's like listening to music without one of these audio interfaces. I put the glasses on, and now everything is clear, crystal clear. I can see the detail. And when you're listening to music, when you're making music, you need to be hearing all those details so you can make the right adjustments and the right decisions. One of the other reasons I love this company so much is because they make like the best plugins on the market for mixing and production. So when I was recording the sax today, I was actually playing around with the UA610B, which is a tube preamp. And as I said, it's not like you're loading it into your Logic or your Pro Tools or your Ableton like a regular DAW. You're actually loading it into the audio interface itself, into the hardware. So as I said, the mic actually takes on those characteristics of that preamp, which is pretty cool. If you guys go pick up one of these audio interfaces, you actually get some of the plugins free. So go to the website, check it out, see what plugins you get. Enough promoting here, even though, man, they really saved me. I'm going to jump into the loop now, and we'll talk about some of those techniques I was discussing about using a major third on a minor chord. Here we go. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to play the loop, and I want you to listen for the major third that I play on the minor chord. I do it a couple of times in here with the sax solo. So take a close listen. Here we go. Here's the loop. By the way, if you guys want to download the audio file for that track you just heard, or get the sheet music, it's transposed for all instruments. That's of the transcribed solo. Also the backing track and the stems. It's all available on my website. Just click the link in the top right corner. So the majority of the loop is in concert C minor. So I'm going to play that here in the left hand, and then play an E natural, which is the major third on top of that. Now that sounds pretty ugly, but what we can do is play that E in a specific way that makes it fit and makes it sound pretty hip. But first we have to talk about a scale you probably know already. This is the C blues scale. Check this out. Now, why am I bringing up the C blues scale? There's no E natural in the C blues scale, but let's take that same shape of the first few notes, this shape here. This right here, that flat 5, that's the secret. I'll give you some examples. This will help make sense of it all. So take a very common blues line like this. I'll do that nice and slow. Now, instead of playing those notes, I'm going to try it like this. All right, let's do another one. Here's a really common blues line. Now we're going to take the same general shape, but move it down slightly so that we make use of that E natural, the major third. Check it out. Here was the original, and here's the modified. Okay, let's do a couple more examples. Here's another. Modified. So that E, which sounded so bad before when I just played it all at once, when you put it in the right context, now there's something really cool about it. Let's do one more. How about this? there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's about what sounds good to your ear. And that E natural is going to sound a little bit unfamiliar to some people out there, but this is a really common thing that happens nowadays in modern jazz. So it's something to play around with. So I want to spend the rest of this video talking about the loop a little bit more, teach you guys the chord changes and the riff that happens at the beginning. Okay, so here's the main riff. Ready? So after that bass line plays, I think it's like 4 measures, we go into the flat 6 chord, which is A flat major 7. Then we're going to go to a G7 altered, which is the 5 of the 1 chord, 5 of 1. But instead of going to C minor, we're going to go to C major 7. Sort of a fake out there. Kind of similar to a Picardy third, if anybody's familiar with that term.
Make it so.
Where you're going to go to the minor one, but instead you go to the major one. This is, of course, a much more modernized context. C major 7. Now we're going to go down minor thirds, but with major 7 chords. So what's a minor third lower than C? A. What's a minor third lower than A? F sharp. These are all major 7. I'm playing major 9s. Okay, minor third down from there, E flat major 9. And then when we get back to C, we go back to the bass line. That wasn't exactly it. Yeah, so we go back to that. So the second time we do it again, we go to the flat 6, A flat major 7, G altered, but instead of going to C major 7 now, we're going to go to C minor 7. And going down minor thirds again, but with minor chords this time. Now, how do you improvise over something like that? The chords are going by pretty fast. The way I would recommend starting out is just by taking the same phrase and transposing it down. So let's say you have, let's go to the major chords going down in minor thirds. Let's do a very simple pattern that a lot of people know. If you have C major 7, you can play a 1, 2, 3, 5. Then when you go to A major 7, play the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 5. And then, so that's one way to get started. So once you get good at that, then you can try mixing it up a little bit. So we'll do the 1, 2, 3, 5 again. But for the A major 7, we'll switch it up. We'll do that line instead. This is a 4, 3, 1, 5. So we're gonna start with the 1, 2, 3, 5, and then the 4, 3, 1, 5, and then we'll go back to the 1, 2, 3, 5, followed by the 4, 3, 1, 5. So now it's not so repetitive, we're starting to mix it up, but there's still some context. By using some repetition, you're able to outline the harmony in a way that the listener can follow along and be assured that you're in command and in control of the chords that are happening there. Yeah, you could just play some chromatic line that goes down like this. And it's not going to sound bad because the chords are moving so fast, but you're kind of BSing your way through those chord changes, and it's going to be much more gratifying for both you and the listener if you're able to outline the harmony in a way that's musical. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So long.